Hi everyone, this is my final presentation on Hurricane Katrina fraud. This was for white collar crime. My professor is Professor Grant, and I'm gonna get started. So again, the white collar case that I chose for my final project is on Hurricane Katrina fraud. So Hurricane Katrina sparked widespread disaster-related fraud with various individuals and groups attempting to exploit the situation for personal gain. This included schemes targeting FEMA, relief funds, insurance claims, and charity donations. A significant portion of the fraud involved fraudulent claims for individual assistance, with some individuals receiving multiple payments or claiming damages for non-existent properties. During Hurricane Katrina, there were numerous instances of fraud related to relief efforts, including falsified claims for housing assistance, fraudulent use of FEMA debit cards, and scams involving fake relief websites. Estimates suggest that at least $1 billion in aid payments were improperly claimed, with some estimates reaching $2 billion. So, the media coverage of Hurricane Katrina and the resulting aid efforts revealed widespread fraud and waste. Reports highlighted instances of individuals and organizations defrauding taxpayers of millions of dollars in relief funds. Examples included fraudulent claims for benefits, bogus websites, soliciting donations, and misuse of FEMA funds. The media also reported on instances of waste, such as the producement of unnecessary or unused supplements and the inefficient distribution of relief materials. So an example of this could be the disaster relief scams. So fake websites and organizations soliciting donations for relief efforts that were ultimately scams, with the collected funds going to the perpetrators rather than the victims. So the next one I'm going to go to. So hurricanes provided plenty of opportunities for scams. Natural disasters such as Hurricanes Harvey and Irma bring out America's sterling civic spirit, stoicism, and selflessness. Millions are giving millions, thousands are volunteering, donating blood, packing parcels with food and clothes, and sheltering victims of the floods. Acts of kindness, such as one Florida man giving a generator to a stranger, or a pointless defiance, such as another trying to shoot at Irma, go viral. Yet hurricanes, floods, and earthquakes also present lucrative opportunities for criminals who steal from charities, insurance companies, government agencies, and victims of disaster with ever more inventive scams. On to the next one. So the NCDF with Hurricane Katrina. The NCDF was set up by the Justice Department in 2005 in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, the coastless and the deadliest hurricane in America post-war history, when tens of billions of dollars in disaster relief poured in the Gulf Coast area and several millions ended up in the wrong hands. In 2006, the Government Accountability Office found that up to $1.4 billion of disaster relief payments made by the Federal Emergency Management Agency were improper and possibly fraudulent. FEMA funds, the auditors found, were used to pay for jewelry, Don Perligin, champagne holidays in the Caribbean, pornography, and even a divorce lawyer. The FBI estimates that up to $6 billion of $80 billion in government funds earmarked for reconstruction went to insurance fraudsters. Fraud was so widespread and we were so unprepared, says Walt Green. Mr. Almden's predecessor, who was still dealing with Katrina in March this year, the NCDF prosecuted more than 1,300 cases of Katrina-related fraud in 49 states. Let me see. Unlike hurricane disasters, frauds tend to move in a predictable sequence. Charity fraud is first. After Katrina, the Red Cross asked the FBI to investigate at least 15 websites impersonating one of America's largest charities. Contractor fraud comes next, involving fake contractors asking for upfront payments for the removal of trees or the repair of a roof and never turning up, or doing the work so poorly that it needs to be redone. A former Alabama state legislator was sentenced to 60 years after swindling more than $400,000 out of Katrina victims in New Orleans for Mulder homes he never delivered. When reconstruction begins, the big sums start pouring in, and the most indigenous pilfering occurs. I apologize. Identifying fraud can involve criminals making fake insurance claims for property or governmental benefits with stolen social security numbers. Insurers say fraud accounts for 10% of its property and casualty expenses in an average year, or about $34 billion, but in a year with an unusual number of natural disasters, it can be much higher. So, here are some positive notes on the Hurricane Katrina fraud. So, while Hurricane Katrina was a devastating disaster, some positive developments emerged in response to the crisis, including large-scale search and rescue efforts, a massive air evacuation, and the deployment of business development specialists to assist minority firms. Additionally, many charities and private companies stepped up to provide aid, and the federal government initiated reforms to improve disaster preparedness. So some examples that helped out Hurricane Katrina were search and rescue. The Department of Homeland Security conducted a massive search and rescue operation. Business assistance. The Minority Business Development Agency sent specialists to help minority businesses affected by the storm. Volunteer efforts. A large number of volunteers, including those from organizations like the National Volunteer Organizations Active in Disaster and the American Red Cross, deployed to the affected areas, according to the George W. Bush White House archives. While these positive developments were significant, it's important to remember that Hurricane Katrina also exposed major flaws in the government's disaster response and resulted in significant loss of life, displacement, and economic damage. Here is a video. It's a scam alert. Beware of scams after a storm. So in this video, it talks about how to protect yourself from frauds after a storm, such as a hurricane has happened in your home. Some things to look out for is be suspicious of anyone who calls or knocks on your door if you don't contact them first. Don't provide any personal information until you confirm who they're representing. Be aware that there is no charge to file an insurance claim or apply to disaster assistance or for FEMA inspections. If someone tries to charge you, report it to the police. Watch out for fly-by-night contractors who rush to the area. Get more than one bid for repairs and make sure estimates are in writing on company letterhead. Use local companies when possible and check references. Don't pay for repairs upfront. So that is all I have for Hurricane Katrina fraud. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.